Are you a current or future physician assistant wanting to learn more about finances? Then join me on this journey to become a PA the FI way. Hi, my name is Kat, and I'm a practicing certified physician assistant who will be your host. It took me 5 years after I started practicing medicine as a PA to thoroughly dive into my personal finances after I discovered the concept of financial independence. I want to use what I have learned to help you avoid some of the financial mistakes that I have made while sharing some of the financial wins that I have had along the way. Join me as we discuss financial strategies to guide you to becoming a physician assistant on the way to financial independence. Welcome back, everyone, to the PA the FI Way podcast. I'm your host, Kat, and thank you so much for taking a listen to this episode. I am so excited to record and share this episode with you because it's one of my favorite episodes of the year that I usually do. And what it is that I ask the community of PAs to share their wins that they have had throughout the year. And for this last episode of 2024, I have some really exciting wins to share. And it's not only going to be about financial wins. In addition to money wins, there will also be medicine wins, meaning about their career as a PA in medicine, as well as mindset wins. And there have been some major wins that I'm so excited to share with you. These wins were collected from a few different places, including social media, as well as our WealthRx community. The first win I wanted to share is from another fellow psych PA. Mercedes also works in psychiatry, and she shared that 2024 was a year of growth for me. I spoke at the AAPA conference again and shared an exciting talk on sleep. And to act on what I preach, I prioritized my health by getting serious about weightlifting to support my longevity. Let's keep encouraging each other in 2025. I absolutely love this win that she shared because she talked about her love of educating other PAs, but also about the fact that she decided to truly prioritize her own well-being. And many of us practicing in medicine, no matter the specialty, can often fall into the trap of recommending lifestyle changes, including movement and nutritional changes, but yet we tend to sacrifice our own physical and mental well-being by not actually making time for ourselves. And that's absolutely a recipe for burnout and not optimal for our holistic wellness overall. So I encourage you to ask yourself, what is one step that you can do either today or for the year of 2025 that helps support your longevity and your overall wellness? Next, I want to share Silvana's win. Silvana is a member in the WealthRx community, and she shared for her money win, I would love to share that I paid off $90,000 in 2.5 years. I also opened my first Roth IRA and have been a lot more aggressive with my investments. Hello, maxing out Roth and 403b. I also took a small step towards crypto. More to come on that in 2025, I hope. And then her medicine win. I transitioned from night shift to day shift and have been loving getting my sleep at night. And for her mindset win, I got my yoga certification and started my second job as a yoga instructor. I love teaching and I'm very passionate about it. Even though the pay is almost nothing compared to my PA job, it brings me a lot of joy. Seeing that a job can have you work with people that are relaxed, friendly, positive, in contrast with burned out physicians, upset patients, and sickness has been an eye-opener for me. There is life beyond medicine, and I'm excited to see what else I discover in the new year. I love that Silvana is exploring other interests beyond her medical career and how yoga has many other benefits. Again, including physical, mental health, also the social connection she's getting. And even though she mentioned that the pay is not anywhere near PA income, for many of those seeking another source of revenue, it really is ideal not to just cram on more and more and more PA shifts, because that can tend to be a recipe for burnout for so many PAs and other medical providers out there. Next, we have another member, Emily, who shared a mindset win as well as a money win. She said, I shifted from a scarcity mindset, realized my finance scarcity was spilling into my career and holding me back overall. And I had $100,000 invested. $60,000 of that was moved just this year alone. It's easier to make those moves when the mindset is no longer holding you back. She had shared that before joining the program, she was hoarding her money in accounts that weren't even earning any interest. She also found an old HSA that wasn't invested and was able to get those funds invested too. She moved and negotiated job offers and also worked on practicing boundary setting over the past year, saying, I am very non-confrontational, but I practice setting boundaries and staying firm in them despite what fear I have for setting them. This is much easier said than done, especially working in environments that are toxic. Next, we have another member, B. B shared for her money win. I'm super excited to share that I paid off a total of $30,000 in student loan debt, with $20,000 of that paid off just this year alone. I've maxed out my HSA, Roth IRA, and my 401k has about 19 grand. For her medicine win, B shared, I'm still deeply passionate about emergency medicine, and I'm constantly learning and improving. I feel so lucky to work with such an amazing and supportive team. They truly make me look forward to coming in and doing what I do best. And for her mindset win, the year 2024 has been one of incredible growth and positivity. I've come to realize that time is far more valuable than money, and I'm now focused on using my money to buy back my time for the things that matter most. Along the way, I've really learned to appreciate the importance of personal health and relationships, recognizing that they are the true wealth in life. I absolutely love B's mindset win. Time truly is life's most precious, non-renewable resource. You can never get back more time. So when you are at the point where you can use your money to buy back your time, or you are at the point where you can cut back on your hours to use your time in other ways beyond work, that really is the ultimate flex in life, to have freedom of your time. I also love how she's emphasizing the importance of personal health and relationships. And that ties back to how there are so many different types of health and wealth beyond just financial health, and how all the different types of health are interconnected. Things like physical health, mental health, spiritual health, social health, emotional health, etc. Remember not to neglect any of those areas. Next up, we have some of our coaches, and some of our coaches were members in the community before they became coaches as well. Tiara was initially a member, and now she's one of our amazing coaches, and she shared for her money win. I paid off $10,000 in consumer debt and $28,000 in student loans for a total of $38,000 of debt paid off this year. I invested $15,000 into investment accounts, including Roth, 401k, and dabbled in crypto. And I increased my salary by $15,000. For her mindset win, I continue to shift out of a scarcity mindset into an abundance mindset, not letting fear hold me back from stuff. Even in the worst setback, 2023 was the year from hell for me. The comeback is something incredible. And for her medicine win, I became the PA representative on the Hospital Medicine Executive Committee. I've loved seeing her come out from a year that was really challenging for her and have all these other amazing wins in life. It goes to show that we all experience challenging times. Some of them are similar to others that we know. Some of them are different. And often there can be so much growth and opportunity beyond the time that is challenging as well. So I hope that provides a little bit of hope for you if you're going through some difficult times at this time. One of our other coaches, named Arsh, who was originally a member first, shared that her biggest win for 2024 is, I will be finished paying off my $172,000 of debt by the end of this year. It took me 1.5 to 2 years to do that, living well below my means and keeping track of my spending all year long to make this difficult goal come true. Paying off that giant amount of debt in that little bit of time is such a huge accomplishment. And what it really reminds me of is there can be phases in your financial independence journey. During this time of paying off debt, Arsh decided to make sacrifices in certain areas of her life to stick to this really ambitious, big goal. She very likely had to say no to things throughout that 1.5 to 2 year point, and understanding that she'll be debt-free in such a shorter amount of time than if she were to not set boundaries in place and living beyond her means over that time. After large amounts of debt are paid off, then there's another phase of financial independence as well. And that journey is figuring out how to max out your different types of investment accounts and figure out what types of investments you want to invest in beyond the traditional types of accounts too. And over time, you also need to learn to develop the skill of spending your money. You need to learn the phase and the transition that goes from being much more budget conscious, much more frugal, over to figuring out those areas of life that you don't mind splurging some. And that really is individualistic for everyone out there, and understanding what really brings you joy, what you really value in your life, and constantly asking yourself, what do I choose to spend my money on? Instead of looking at your finances at the end of the month or at the end of the year and wondering where in the world you spent your money on. Next, we have a win from one of our other coaches named Jesus, and he shared that this year, my net worth crossed the 1 million mark. Prior to starting my first PA job in December 2019, I had roughly $17,000 between Roth IRA and TSP, which is essentially the military's version of a 401k. Since then, we have lived within our means and invested aggressively. Even during COVID and the market turndown in 2022, we continued to invest. I set a goal to be a millionaire by the time I was 40 when I first started my PA job, and I crossed that path at 38 instead. If I can do it, all of y'all can, and I can't wait to see y'all get there. I love how this story really shows that it can take so much less time for you to reach your goals once you become crystal clear of what those goals are, and when you are diligent and mindful and intentional every step of the way. It took him slightly less than 5 years to go from a net worth of $17,000 to $1 million. That's absolutely amazing. And it took him 2 years less than what he thought to become a PA millionaire. This is your reminder that you can do hard things and you can reach those lofty goals, and that it can often take a whole lot less time to get there than you think it will. Next up is sharing Katie's wins. And Katie was one of our members as well, who now is another one of our amazing team of coaches. And she shared, I paid off all my student loans, $92,000 in 2 years. I contributed $17,327 toward my student loans my first year practicing as a PA. In the last year, I paid off $75,488 towards my loans. Never did I think this was possible. Reflecting back on the past year, never once did I feel deprived or that I couldn't afford life. I traveled the world, attended bachelorette parties, stood at my sister and best friend's weddings, went to so many concerts, attended my favorite fitness classes, and ate and drank to my heart's desire. You can do it too. She also shared, finally left my job to find autonomy and more supportive colleagues. And I've had lots of mindset growth in terms of how I communicate, understand in relationships, physical health, and how I can become my best future self. I love how Katie was able to find balance. She was able to be intentional and put a ton of money towards her student loan debt and experience the important things in her life that she wanted to throughout that time. Huge congrats to her. Next, we have Kayla sharing her wins. And Kayla was the guest in the last episode 146, where we talked about invest beyond your dollars. So if you haven't listened to that episode, go ahead and check it out. And Kayla shared several wins over the past year, and I want to mention some of the highlights. She said, I realized I've accomplished a lot this year. I'm not the best at patting myself on the back for my wins because I tend to look forward. However, here's my attempt at flexing a bit and reminding you that if a 26-year-old PA can do this, so can you. I paid off my car in 9 months, $29,500 in full after a $10,000 down payment. Although buying a newer used car was not something I envisioned myself doing, it has been a great choice for me. My old car was costing me monthly trips to the shop, time plus stress, was terrible on gas and oil, money and stress, and the threat of breaking down at any point, stress. Honestly, one of the best feelings ever. I moved to a new town and realized it's not for me. In April, I left Pittsburgh, my home for 8 years, to be closer to my family and moved to the South Jersey coast. I literally live on an island, and most of my friends are over the age of 55. I realized pretty quickly that this would not be permanent of a decision as I intended it to be. I put my notice in last week and am moving back to Pittsburgh in January. I couldn't be more stoked. With that being said, I did something for myself that I've always wanted to do, live by the beach. got to spend so much time with my family this summer, and learned a lot about myself. I've been physically active to a new level. During my time here, I completed 75 hard, started going to the gym to lift regularly, and started training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. This has been huge for my physical and mental health. BJJ has been the biggest level up for me. I'm intending on keeping with this practice and competing within the next year, so stay tuned. And in addition to maxing out my Roth for 2024 and have over $70K invested over all my accounts, I'm on track to make $27K in rental income this year. I bought a duplex as a house back in 2022, and since moving, I've rented both units to guests through Airbnb. Last year, I just broke even with my expenses, such as mortgage, utilities, repairs, etc. But this year, I'm actually making a profit that I've been saving to use for either the next pipe that bursts or another property, whatever comes first. Owning real estate has also been crucial in allowing my moves to be flexible. Rather than worry about finding an apartment by the time I move back to Pittsburgh, I can just move back into my own place. And to wrap up, my biggest money win is that I got my solo 401k set up, which I'm really excited for. And then my husband and I have been having some mindset shifts this year too that will lead to some big major life changes in 2025. So definitely stay tuned for those. I want to thank all the amazing PAs for sharing your stories, and huge shout out to all of you for accomplishing these amazing lofty goals that you have done. So many of you have paid off giant amounts of debt, have been investing aggressively, have been having mindset shifts from scarcity mindset over to abundance, and have been making big moves in your PA careers as well. I challenge all of the listeners out there to pause and reflect and write down those wins that you've had for 2024. Many of us don't do that enough. As Kayla mentioned, she tends to look forward. She doesn't tend to look back and actually think about what she has done. And you might surprise yourself and think, wow, I really have done this in just 1 year for the year of 2024, or wow, I've done a lot in the past 2 years or 3 years or 5 years. And then looking forward, what are the goals that you have for 2025? What money goals do you have? What medicine goals do you have? And what mindset goals do you have? If you found this episode to be helpful or inspirational, I'd love to hear from you. Reach out through social media, send me a DM, or if you'd like to learn a little bit more about the WealthRx program, you can check out the link in the show notes. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas and a lovely holiday season, and I wish you a happy new year for the year 2025 right around the corner here. Thanks for taking a listen, and I'll see you back here soon. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope that you decide to continue to join me along this journey of becoming a PA the FI way. Please take a moment to press the subscribe button on the platform that you are listening to this on, but more importantly, consider sharing with another current or future PA that could benefit from the information that we reviewed in this episode. Take care and have a great rest of your day. Until next time.